All right, welcome to our latest Swampcast here from a little bit chilly Starkville, where the Florida Gators defeated Mississippi State 29-19. Certainly not the final score, not an indication of what happened on the field in terms of yardages and who was the better team, Robbie, but I guess we just have to get used. This is what this team is going to be.
Yeah, now that you're 7 games in, the personality of this team is what it is now. It's red zone problems, leaving a bunch of points on the field, and now turnovers.
Yeah.
Huge, devastating turnovers.
And you look at
from the guy you don't expect it from.
The guy you don't. I almost wrote this, but I didn't. I said the one guy you can forgive.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was amazing. He forces the ball in there. The other one was his arm got hit. But what are they doing throwing the ball in that position?
4 minutes to go, out of your own end zone. Run the ball. Mississippi State can't score quick enough if you run the ball 3 times.
But, they won, and they're 7-0. And that's what Urban said after the game. They got to focus on that, not on the criticism they're going to get. But he admitted he did a poor job. And the thing that I think is going to bother a lot of people about the red zone production, lack of red zone production, is that they seem to be running the same plays over and over. I mean, the one time they're on the 1 yard line, they ran the same exact play, back-to-back plays. And guess what? It didn't work either time.
But the thing is, every time the fullback goes that way, Tebow's going to run right behind him. The defense knows it. Everybody in the yard knows it. If you're a coach, you're thinking, well, if we don't make it, giving it to somebody else, we took the ball out of our best player's hands. But you've got to have better ways to get him in the end zone than lining the fullback up and running behind him when 3 guys are shooting gaps and blowing up the play.
Well, they had something like 16 red zone plays for 23 yards in this game until, lo and behold, Tebow goes under center. And they hand the ball off to in the I formation. It's a huge wanders right through it. Of course, all you are back there going, why didn't they give it to Moody? But and Moody got the ball more today, played well again today. Offensively, they moved the ball well. I mean, it wasn't like the offense is bad. They're just red zone offense was bad.
They can't close the deal. That's the problem.
And really boneheaded plays. The one by Dustin Doe, as I wrote in the column, if they had overturned that play on the fumble or the interception return, and the ball was stripped out because he started hot dogging, they'd have made him walk home.
Yeah. If Coach Meyer was upset about Deontay Thompson with his bomb loose carrying it, wait till he sees the tape of this thing. Not only did he hold the ball out, he put it behind him where you gave the guy a chance to knock it out.
Very fortunate that they got the touchdown there. And then, Ryan Stamper's a good kid. I'm not saying he did something bad, but you get a pick 6 by Ahmad Black, comes back as a helmet-to-helmet contact. It was just one thing after another in this game, and yet still they're 7-0. We look at Alabama; they almost lose to Tennessee at home. We just all have to accept it. It's survivor.
Just try to win the game somehow now. But this game, every time Florida looked, okay, it's over. Boom, huge play, touchdown, interception. It was like they just couldn't put it away.
They were lucky too at the end that Mississippi State had a little Tennessee in them, and they didn't really seem to be trying to score. Down 10 with about a minute and a half to go. Yeah, they just kind of took their time with it. And Mississippi State's not very good. They're not a very good team, and you could see that defensively, Robbie, because Florida was able to gash them. They were able to throw on them when they needed to. Just couldn't do it in the red zone.
Yeah, another key play, Pat, was the offsides on the kickoff.
Yeah.
After the pick 6,
another boneheaded play.
Well, Mississippi State went offsides. They had Florida pinned inside the 10, right?
It would have been at the 9 yard line.
9 yard line with plenty of time to go.
Why he goes back and grabs that ball at the 1, I don't know. It's just I don't know. This team needs to get smarter if it's going to win out. They're going to have to do that. They're going to have to be smarter. But the good news is Tennessee losing today. Florida moves a step closer to the SEC East, which is their #1 goal, and it looks pretty good for that. Of course, South Carolina pulls off the big win over Vandy. 14-10. Yeah, we beat Vandy. Yeah.
Like all the games in the SEC are almost playing out the same way now. It's like it's tough to put teams away. It's tough to look good in this league right now.
I was telling Chris Lowe this from ESPN.com before the game. I go, everybody in this league is playing safe. Nobody's taking chances.
Yeah. Not even Spurrier has quit doing that too.
It's almost like the Spurrier influence from the 90s has gone away. It's vanished, and maybe that's just what we're looking at. Maybe it's quarterback play, which is shaky at a lot of places. Certainly shaky here. But give Florida credit. They came to Starkville where Robbie and I had never seen them win here.
No.
I'm sure there's some people in the stands who crossed it off their bucket list.
Spurrier never won here.
Of course, he only played here twice.
As the coach.
He was 0-2. So they won. So that's the most important thing. And they're one of the few teams left that still can win a national title. So, that's the good news. And we'll see how they handle this week. And again, the message boards and of course, they don't listen to that stuff, but they know it's out there. They know the criticism's out there, and Urban's going to work really hard to make sure they understand that they're 7-0 and they're not even with all that criticism.
But you understand the fans' frustration.
Sure.
The players are frustrated too because they're close. Every week you keep thinking they're going to put it together this time, and they get close to doing that, and then they screw up in the red zone, they turn the ball over, and all of a sudden the game is, you're getting that weird feeling that they could lose the game.
Well, and the funny thing is though, we're watching football final or whatever it is on ESPN, and I mentioned this to you, and Mark May and Lou Holtz are gushing over Iowa and how they're resilient and everything. What's Florida then? I mean, Florida's supposed to be super. They're supposed to destroy everybody, so they're underachieving. But the team that barely beat Northern Illinois and Arky State, and then needed a 4th down last play of the game pass today to beat a mediocre Michigan State team, they're resilient.
There's no super team out there right now. There's no team that's clearly the best team in the country.
No, I think, in fact, if I was voting based on body of work, I might vote Texas #1 this week.
I think I might too.
Yeah, they killed Missouri. All of Missouri's quarterbacks hobbled, but at any rate, Florida will probably be #1 in most of the polls. We'll see if AP, if they flip-flop them after the Alabama performance. I doubt it. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Poll.
Things could be a lot worse.
Yep. And we're going to go back to our hotel. It's about 20 miles from here, 25 miles from here. Had a great steak dinner last night and had a good time. And then we're going to go back there and get a late flight out because we want to sleep in. And then we'll come back and join you next week where we'll talk about the Florida-Georgia game.
More dogs on the schedule.
Doggies. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Boy, they're going to be hyped for that game with 2 weeks to prepare.
They got a week off, yeah.
They got plenty of tape to look at too.
Well, they got plenty of red zone tape to look at as well. But we'll be back and preview that game when you see us next time. Until then, Robbie, Andrew, Pat, Dooley saying so long from Starkville, Mississippi.